everyone. I'm very good, thank you. How's things with you?
Yeah, not bad. How are you dealing with the lockdown? How is that helping or hindering your creativity?
I've been very lazy in my creativity, to be honest.
Yeah,
I tried to get into. I downloaded some software and some like recording stuff because the
yeah,
singer my other band started doing it. I was like, oh, maybe we can send ideas across. But after a day, technology is just not for me. So I started running. So that's one good thing that's come out of lockdown, jogging. So I do that like 4 or 5 times a week,
you
just
can
as
say
something.
day then. I was like,
Oh
Christ.
no, screw that. And I'm not a morning runner. I can't. I'm not a morning person. So
No,
usually an after breakfast, pre-lunch run. But
yeah.
today I went to run a
Still
bit
in the
later.
morning though.
Still, I suppose.
Still
Yeah,
early.
I did a later one today, but at about 3 o'clock. And as soon as I start, there's a school around the corner, and I was just like, oh no, this it was the first time I've ran whilst school's been back at
Yeah.
that. So I'm trying to avoid everyone. So I'm just running back and forth, just across the main road, almost getting run over. So remind me never to go running ever again at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's the
Lesson.
same with the traffic as well. Like I always drive out and forget that there's traffic at that time, and then you
Yeah,
get stuck for an hour, and then you hit the rush hour after the school rush hour.
yeah. 2 rush hours.
Yeah, you
But
forget it exists when you don't go to school anymore
yeah,
or work
especially when
because it's lockdown.
yeah, because used to months of there not being any school, I was just like, oh, I can run whenever I want. But
Yeah.
no, and that I meet up with my mates like once or twice a week. We do socially distanced drinking in the field. So that's quite fun. It's like we're 15 again, just drinking cans. It's quite fun. I think I've got another one planned for Friday, so
Yeah.
all good.
Cool. So did you get all your interest in music and playing instruments from your dad, or was it someone else that inspired you?
I think it was mainly my dad because I think from when I was like 4 or 5, I think the first gig I went to was probably Motorhead, which is not ideal when you're 4 or 5.
No, but
I
it makes
probably
sense.
it makes sense. Yeah, I probably want to try and get some sleep, but
Yeah.
didn't happen. But yeah, so I think I started on the drums first randomly. It is somehow I'm not a very good drummer, so like Dane's a drummer. We basically all play the same instruments. We all play drums, bass, and guitar. And
Yeah.
I blag a bit of piano. I like to think, no, I wish I was better at the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dane concentrated on drums. I think we all got our point where like we focus on guitar or we focus on drums. So me and Todd mainly focus on guitar, and then Dane focused on the drums. And basically, when we formed the band, I was the worst guitarist, so I got to play the bass instead. So I just any bass players out there, proper bass players.
Yeah.
Those there are amazing bass players because Dane actually learnt like jazz bass when he was younger as well. So like
Right.
Wooten, Jaco Pastorius, all this. I can barely play with my fingers, so
Yeah.
that's kind of how I started. So yeah, pretty much. There's no getting away from it. When you were young, when you were in school, everyone used to listen to the Spice Girls and stuff, and I was
Yeah.
listening to Metallica and Joe Satriani and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's only one way to go for me.
Yeah, when I was about 5, we had a costume party in primary school, and my mum was like, "Oh, who do you want to go as?" And I was like, "Ozzy Osbourne." She's like, "You're not going as Ozzy
Yes.
Osbourne." She made me go as a Disney princess.
Ah,
So yeah, and then I went, and 3 other girls were wearing the same princess costume, and I lost. So if
oh,
I'd have gone as Ozzy, I'd have won the contest.
exactly. Bring a bat with you.
Yeah.
Happy days. A fake one, of course. Don't want to bring a real one.
No. So that kind of translates into what I was going to ask as well. So how did you, well, you've already answered how you chose what instruments you played, but whose idea was it for you guys to form a band with your dad?
I think it was Todd's 30th birthday. We had a band to play, and during the like halftime break, we all decided to have it. It was kind of pre-planned. Me and my brothers, my dad, we all jammed, and we had different singers to come along and sing a couple of songs. Because
Mm.
we've known Neil for years. He's in a band called Dopamine or an Attack, which have toured all over the place in Europe, America, Australia.
Yeah.
So Neil's been around, and yeah, after that we had bit of a laugh, and I think it might have been 2013, 2000. you know, 2012, that would have been October 2012. So I think it was the following year we kind of just, Phil Campbell's All-Star Band was born when my dad wasn't on tour with Motorhead. We just play a couple of like fun party cover gigs, I suppose, in the odd festival. So yeah, it started from that really, and then unfortunately when Motorhead, well, Lemmy sadly passed away. Obviously Motorhead were no more.
Yeah.
I think we gave it about maybe like 6 months or so, and my dad was just what we wanted to keep him busy, to keep his mind off things.
Yeah.
So I think we decided to, yeah, we wrote a couple of songs and ended up being our EP. And before we were still billed as Phil Campbell's All-Star Band at Wacken and Bloodstock, but we decided to change the name. Unfortunately, my mum didn't know about it for a while because she was not a fan at all. She was like, well, you can't be called that. And I was like, well, we've paid 500 quid for the backdrop now, so it's going to be called that now.
Unless you can
So
reimburse me.
it sounds cooler than All-Star Band, doesn't it? So yeah, so our first gig officially as Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons was at Wacken. So they were expecting All-Star Band, and then the backdrop just came down, and we played Big Mouth for the first time then. So it's just kind of gradually grown from there.
Yeah, it's not a bad first gig.
No, it was we all crapping our pants, I think. Besides
Yeah.
my dad, I think. It was like the pre-show, like I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday. So the main stages weren't even open. It was just a big tent, and I think it was like 10,000 people there. You couldn't get into the tent.
Yeah.
I think it's footage on YouTube actually, but yeah, it was quite a good first gig. And then actually the day before, was it the day before? No, I'm losing crossing my timeline. The first All-Star Band official gig was in a rock club called Bogies in Cardiff, which was a warm-up to when we played Bloodstock, like the Jägermeister stage. That was 2014, I think. I'm not good with remembering years and stuff. You all get muddled up. So yeah, I think that's a brief history of our band.
Yeah, nice. So obviously you mentioned Lemmy. Was he a big influence on you playing bass at all, or was Motorhead as a whole an influence?
Yeah, so also I've loved Motorhead ever since I was 4 years old, obviously, and yeah, so I was mainly a guitar player, and then I've enjoyed playing bass from time to time. And also when we officially first started, we were mainly playing Motorhead songs with a few covers in between. So I was like, a lot of people were expecting me to play a big Rickenbacker bass, but I think I didn't like. There's only one Lemmy. I wasn't trying to imitate
Yeah.
him, but like some songs, yeah, I suppose he's definitely influenced me because a lot of the songs they have like big like power chords, which is you'd say is untraditional as a bass player. It's like
Yeah.
playing power chords on a bass, which you wouldn't really do. But I try to chuck that. I chuck them in some of Phil Campbell, the Bastard Son songs now,
Yeah.
which just kind of beefs her up a bit. But yeah, he was such an original bass player.
Yeah.
And if you watch his right hand as well, his right hand's really underrated. I think there's a little clip off his Lemmy film when I think he's in the studio, he's live, and he's just doing like 12-bar blues riff, but his right finger, like it's just like his own and unique style. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's like
Yeah.
it's a lot difficult to do. Like he makes it come across easy, but
Yeah.
it's a lot difficult to
Yeah.
imitate.
He was definitely one on his own.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I remember the night he passed, actually, I wasn't there myself, but Corporation, where you're playing Heretic for me,
Okay, yeah,
they shut down all the speakers in the venue and announced it over the tannoy, and everyone was just in tears. Like,
yeah,
with it being a rock venue, obviously Motorhead was played there quite a lot. I'm
yeah,
not sure if they ever played there, but yeah, they had a few moments for him that
yeah.
night.
I don't know.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the situation at the minute, not being able to play these gigs? And can you imagine playing on a smaller scale, like as the guidelines allow at the moment?
I think it's hard for us just because as much as we want to play, we've got to a certain point where we just wouldn't make any money. Like
Yeah.
everyone would lose money. Like promoters, I know some people are doing it. Like in Wales, I can't even play outdoors in a pub at the moment
Yeah.
as an acoustic act with my other singer. So it was really difficult. But I think it's a shame those, because Live Nation were originally going to do those car drive-through gigs,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I personally probably wouldn't have gone, but I think it was good. It was good for them to give it a go, and obviously
Yeah.
a lot of like road crew would have given them a lot of work for
Yeah.
what was obviously everyone's busiest time of year. So that aspect, I think, is a big shame. But yeah, I think fingers crossed next year. Well, yeah, we just announced a German tour for April. But
Yeah. That's leading up to Heretic, isn't it, that one?
yeah, so the last show will be Heretic. So hopefully, you never know. 6 months is a long. Anything can happen in 6 months.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, and if not by the summer. But yeah, it's hard to make plans. You just gotta roll with it, to be honest. And
Yeah, yeah. It's just you've got to take each day as it comes at the
yeah,
moment.
everyone's safety is the most important thing, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a few bands playing the festival over the weekend that would have to self-isolate or shield themselves, and I would, if it came to it, I wouldn't put their health at risk, never mind 900 punters. So,
Yeah,
you've just got to take each day, I guess,
yeah.
and be smart about it and listen. So can you sum up each bastard in one word, and which is the best guitar player?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I'm not good at describing people, maybe in case I offend them. Right, I'll start with the best guitar player. It's definitely not me. No offense, Dane. It's not him. Dane plays guitar as well. I'd say it'd be a 50-50 between Todd and my dad, I'd say. 50. They both got. Todd will say my dad's better. My dad will say Todd's better.
Yeah,
But it would be a good guitar battle. Basically, what
yeah,
they do on stage, because a lot of the songs, my dad Phil would do one half of the solo, and then Todd would do the other half of the solo, which
yeah.
makes it fun and games. And now I've procrastinated that question. Now I'm going to describe everyone in one word. So I'm going to say Neil. I'm going to say busy. Neil is a very busy person because he does other stuff as well, not just in the band. He's got a few businesses on the go. Uh, you might take like 4 hours to reply to you on WhatsApp, but it's understandable. And yeah, so busy bee, Neil. Um, I don't know. My dad hungry. I'm gonna say my dad hungry. He likes a midnight snack on the tour bus. We're
I
still
remember.
like we're still watching like films like 2 in the morning. He'll come down and make a pot noodle. Uh, Dane, I'm gonna say fussy. He's kind of got mild OCD, so that's why I'm gonna say that. So what do you say fussy? Another word just to do with OCD. And then Todd, uh, I don't know. You put me on a spot, yeah. I don't know. I hope none of them are going to watch this. What can Todd be? Uh, I'm going to say Todd, creative, because
Yeah.
he's also a producer as well, and mixes a lot. He's been recording for like 15 years now. Likes to keep himself busy. Obviously plays guitar. And yeah, hopefully I've done that without offending anyone.
What about
So
yourself?
about me, I don't know. I'll just be the village idiot, I suppose. Usually how most people describe me.
Yeah,
So I'll happily take that.
yeah.
I'm
So
usually the one that drinks the most on the tour. I'm a tour manager and the drinker, which is not usually a good combination.
no, not the typical combination either.
No. Like sometimes we do have another tour manager, but sometimes
Yeah,
I'm hopefully I don't think I will be the tour manager for Heretic, so I should be able to relax a bit more, which is good for
yeah,
me.
yeah. Well, it's the last day of the tour anyway, so.
Exactly.
So you said that was it Dane that was the producer?
Todd.
Todd,
So
sorry.
Todd's well, yeah, I was gonna say Todd produced the new album,
Yeah.
which is coming out November 13th. I do a cheesy plug there, November 13th, Nuclear Blast. So yeah, Todd also recorded my dad's solo album last year as well.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd just keep the the same ideas really, because we started writing the album January and February this year, so we were always going to record the album. But once March, the lockdown happened in March, we taught how to record the album, so we all recorded our parts separately, because usually we're in like a room together, but because we were like extra precautious, we was like Todd in the room at one time, and then in the live room there's only me, and I wouldn't see the rest of the band. So it was a slightly different recording.
Yeah.
Recording structure, but I think we got the best out of it. So I think we're very happy with the album. So
yeah, it's good to do different things as well sometimes, because you might discover that you like it that way, and you can come up with different things that way and different sounds.
Yeah, I suppose as to on the one hand, is good at getting other people's opinions and options, and they might come up with ideas for your instrument or whatever. But then I suppose on the other hand, because I know Todd's producing and he's like giving me some direction, but it still gives me a bit more time to just me and the bass on his own, and I might think of something where I may not have been given the time in other circumstances. So yeah, it was cool. It was good fun.
Yeah. So when you have disagreements in the studio, how do you resolve that?
Well, I suppose you'd say Todd usually, because Todd's the producer, so usually it'd come down, because there's 5 of us in the band. It's kind of good, because sometimes we do a vote like a democracy, and if it's 3 against 2, the 3 would win. Or if it's like somebody says a maybe, my dad would normally have the final say.
Yeah.
But the big boss man. But I suppose in the studio, because I think Todd's had the experience of producing stuff, you'd say, yeah, majority of the times Todd would like stamp his foot down and say, no, I think this is the way we need to go. Or between Todd and my dad.
Yeah. So what is the best gig that you've ever played?
Ooh, it's gonna have to be opening up for Guns N' Roses in Italy, the Imola racetrack. So we set up really early. No, the doors are open like 11 o'clock in the morning for some reason, and we didn't play till about 5:30. We opened, and it was one of the hottest days ever. So it's just, and it was about 90 to 100,000 people there as well, which is nuts. Well, our dressing room was like in this building, and you could see everyone walking in. And it was, if you like search it on YouTube, there's literally one. They had these seats as well, so there was somebody filming from the seats from their perspective, and they were filmed the stage, and then I just did this for like 30 seconds just across all the people. I just went on for ages, and then by the time we were on at 5:30, they'd been there for like 5-6 hours. The crowd just wanted to hear some music. So
yeah,
once we burst it, because sometimes there's a support back, I know you're the opening act, but sometimes it's hard to, they take a couple of songs to get into it, but from like the first note, they just loved it. And
I
think the amount of it's hard to imagine 90,000 people. So I say 100,000 people because it sounds better, but it's between 90 and 100,000 people.
Yeah.
So
that's like the size of the Download main stage sort of crowd.
Yeah, something like that. It's nuts. There's an old Formula One racetrack, I think.
Yeah.
We had a day off before that then as well. So we walked around into the town, and all of a sudden there was randomly this Mexican festival happening in the town where everyone was drinking margaritas. So had some fun the night before as well. So
days.
Yeah, that was a very good couple of days. That was.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been abroad for a gig apart from when I've been working. So
I definitely recommend it because I don't do it all the time, but it's good to sometimes plan a holiday or a break around a gig. So I'm a big Manic Street Preachers fan, but also I love Guns N' Roses. And I think it was 2 years ago, Guns N' Roses, the Manics were announced as the support act for Guns N' Roses in Berlin. So, and Cardiff were flying direct from Cardiff to Berlin. So I brought 2 of my mates along, and we flew here, and that was amazing. And I went to Iceland for New Year's Eve 4 or 5 years ago to watch Sigur Rós, who are my favourite bands. So it's good.
Yeah.
You get to go to different places you wouldn't normally see on your
Yeah.
random resorts. Go to Ibiza or something, you know.
Yeah.
And they're not Ibiza, you know.
I think the furthest I've gone is Glasgow for a gig.
I love Glasgow though.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Glasgow.
Like fan of Glasgow. Have good few nights out there.
Yeah. So, what's the favourite gig that you've been to then? Would you say that was the one?
Been to. A lot is too many. No, another again in Italy. Went to Rome to watch Counting Crows support Bruce Springsteen, because Counting Crows is like, I think Counting Crows are my favorite band.
Yeah.
Even though we're in like a hard rock band, I mainly listen to these days anyway, like more chilled out. They're not really a cool band to like, Counting Crows. They're like a cheesy 90s band, but they're really musical. If you're a musician, you could really get into them. But yeah, Counting Crows supporting Bruce Springsteen. My singer from my other band, the People of Poet, Leon, he met the singer of Counting Crows, and that was it. We were in like the VIP area, and there was this fridge of beers, so we were just like, oh, we assume there's free beer for the guests or whatever. So started drinking them, and then after a couple of trips there, they was like, no, stop drinking there, and they put a sign and it said Counting Crows Rider. So we've been accidentally drinking Counting Crows Rider for about 2 hours. It's like, oh, very embarrassed. But I still made my mates keep on going, because like, mate, if you got the balls, you know, go back and have a couple of bits, you know, they're expensive. But yeah, that gig was incredible. It was in this old like chariot racing, ancient chariot racing venue.
Yeah.
I don't know what, probably like 50,000 people there or something. And just to see beautiful weather, beautiful city. Like, I like Bruce Springsteen. Not a humongous fan compared to Counting Crows, but I watched him live in Cardiff as well, like years ago, and I think it's just a live experience. It's kind of like a religious experience.
Yeah.
It's strange, it's hard to describe. But that was definitely my number one gig, just for both bands and the setting. And yeah, very good.
Good. Obviously, you have the new album coming up.
Yes, we do. November 13th. If you're into a vinyl, we've got a gold vinyl, like this orange splatter vinyl, silver sparkle vinyl. If you're boring and just want black vinyl, we do that as well. We've got a lot of cool bundles available on our Music Glue, including cassette tapes, because apparently cassettes are coming back. Did you know this?
I've seen a couple of things, because I work for a record label and they've got a few cassettes, but yeah.
20% growth in the last year, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know where you play them, like. So, yeah, cassettes. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a couple more music videos out throughout the next month or two. And yeah, I just can't wait to go back on stage and play a gig, really.
Yeah.
I said this in an interview last week. I was like, put me on stage, I'll play Spice Girl songs. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll do it as long as there's a crowd and everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
And it's safe.
Yeah.
Do it. So fingers crossed for next year.
Yeah. The future will be smoke machines, but instead of smoke machines, it's antibacterial.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That would be good. You can actually just walk in. Actually, I think they do something like that. It might be in Asia, where you just walk into a building and they spray something on you.
Yeah.
Anti-bac thing. So
yeah.
I'm for that. Give it a go.
Yeah. We've got to put a patent on that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Dragon's Den next year.
Pyrotechnics and stuff.
Peter Jones will be after you, 50% each way. I'd say yes, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good idea, and it gets people to gigs.
Exactly, yeah.
Not sure what it did to people's skin, but
I think short term, let's think of the short term, wherever that happens in 4 years' time. Give her a go.
Yeah. Well, it's been great chatting to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you at Heretic.
Yes. I'll see you at Heretic, everyone. It's the last show of tour, so make it a good one.